Still a sucker for Tucker.
You're not being nuanced. You want to throw Tucker under the bus. I think Tucker did his job.
I think Tucker did his
Tucker did his job. I think
Tucker did his job. Yes.
Yeah, I think the guy who looks a little worse is Hannity, because Hannity in the text admitted he didn't believe the story, but as a Trump loyalist, he endorsed the bullshit theory. That's crazy. No good.
Brad, you come on the show every couple of episodes and pitch in here as our fifth Beatle. Would you like to touch the third rail? What are your thoughts? And would you like to get some incoming email from all your LPs about your position on Fox News and Trump?
I mean, I think
like to humiliate.
I mean, I just feel like I sat through a University of Chicago law school class. It was awesome. And I think we have some good issues here that we still got to tick off on, J-Cal.
Yes. Okay. Well,
we got to talk just for a second about China as it relates to TickTock.
Oh, okay.
Because this.
All right, here we go.
This Hawley hearing that's coming up. So we've got a hearing in Congress.
Let's start with, you are a shareholder, a significant shareholder in ByteDance, the parent company of TickTock. We have to say that up front.
Correct.
And you started that position.
And my kids use TikTok. And my kids use Reels. And you and I have had a spirited debate on.
Yes, you're a shareholder.
On Twitter about this. So I have an interest.
You want me to tee it up? You want to tee it up?
But hold on a second here. Because just like Sachs had to defend himself before he even got started, otherwise you wonder my credibility.
You don't like the way I frame it?
I have to do the same thing. I'm a much bigger shareholder of Meta, who stands to do incredibly well if TikTok in the U.S. is banned.
So you have a spread trade. Wait, you win either way.
I've got a hedge on.
Good. Okay.
If TikTok in the U.S. gets banned. But, the context here is the TikTok ban debate is heating up, right? And it's all in a march up to the Hawley hearing. I think it's on March 23rd. And there's we spent a lot of time at the start of this pod on inflation. I think a much bigger issue right now. I was just with all these investors. The main issue on their mind was global decoupling between China and the United States. We're going to see a level of Chinese hate leveled out of Congress, both sides. I mean, we heard it, Chamath, at dinner at your place not so long ago, that this hearing is drawing more demand for speakers from both sides of the aisle than any such conference in a long time. But there's a lot of heat now around TikTok. Should it be banned? And when I look at the situation, if you frame it for ByteDance, because Chamath talked about this a couple weeks ago, it's been reported. ByteDance's revenue is about $120 billion. It's been reported their profits are about $25 billion. That is almost identical in size to Meta. Meta's worth about $450 billion. So $120 billion top line. It's also been leaked that TikTok is about $14 billion of that. And that U.S. TikTok is $3 to $4 billion. U.S. TikTok, $3 to $4 billion of 120, and it loses money. So there's a lot of debate. Should we ban it? Should we not ban it? Is it going to go public in Hong Kong?
What should happen? What do you think? What do you want to happen as a shareholder?
Listen, I think it's a puppet.
And an American.
I think this is a puppet debate over a much bigger conversation that's going on. One of the things I've urged the company to do over the course of the last several years is parental controls. My kids use TikTok, they use Reels, and what I want is to be able to set effective time limits. And I also want, TikTok has incredible video content in math, in science, in history. I want to be able to set a slider and say 20% of the videos that get shown over this 1 hour period have to include some of these math and science videos for my 12-year-old. Then he can elect to not watch it all or watch it. They announced those product changes yesterday. So they're teeing up those product changes. I don't happen to think there's a nefarious plot, but I also understand that people might not want this. And so, listen, I think we should have a debate. I think that the CEO of TikTok should show up. He should speak the truth at the Hawley hearing. And if the U.S. Congress wants to ban TikTok in the U.S. or force a spin or a sale, I think we should do it and stop debating it. But the much larger conversation is whether we have a hard or a soft decoupling with China. And I think this is just canary in the coal mine.
All right. So let me just tee up also, and Chamath, I'll get your reaction. On Monday, the White House gave government agencies 30 days to remove TikTok from all federal devices. All federal agencies must delete TikTok from phones and systems and prohibit internet traffic from reaching the company. This is following moves by Canada and the EU and Taiwan. And obviously, There is a bigger House committee focused on China that held its first meeting this week. So there is the bigger picture. But let's start with the smaller picture. Number one, Chamath, do you think it's a security risk to have a Chinese company have this kind of access and influence with TikTok specifically? And what do you think the remedy should be for that? And then we'll get big picture. I want to get Sachs involved in this as well. Should it be banned? Should they have this kind of access to Americans and influence?
Should it be banned? No, because I believe in a free market. Will it be banned? Yes, because it's the most obvious cultural way to pick a fight with China without actually picking a fight with China. So yeah, I think it's going to be the most obvious victim of all of this. And so I don't know, my advice to my friends who are shareholders, not just Brad, but others, is sell it, move on. It's in the Warren Buffett, what Warren Buffett calls the too hard bucket.
Sachs, do you think that this is a national security issue? Do you personally believe TikTok should be banned? Or do you, like me, believe that we should just do a reciprocation test? In order for TikTok to be allowed here in the United States, then Twitter, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., need to be allowed in China, and you have this many days to reciprocate, or else it's banned.
I tend to think Chamath is right that TikTok's going to be GPC roadkill, and GPC stands for Great Power Competition. You're going to start hearing that term more and more. It's going to become the organizing principle of American foreign policy, and I just think that TikTok is all caught up in that. And, personally, I'd like to understand what it is exactly that they're doing with TikTok, and instead of just having these vague accusations, I'd actually really like to understand the underlying surveillance that they might be doing.
They have actually been surveillance. They've been caught already.
Yeah, I'd like to know a lot more about that. But in any event, I just think they're going to get caught up in this again, GPC. That's going to be the dominant organizing principle of our foreign policy. I think that people are coming around to realizing that it's China, not Russia, that is the central global competitor and adversary of the United States. It's the only country in the world that's a potential peer competitor to the U.S. Its economy is roughly the same size as the U.S. It's got 4 times the population. It's the one that we really need to watch out for. I think there's growing realization in Washington that the Ukraine war is a little bit of a misdirect, and that we need to basically get back to doing what we were doing before the war, which is pivoting to Asia.
And by the way, thinking about that just for a second, I think, David, you're totally right, because the game theory now, to me, makes a lot more sense in the framing of GPC. So, for example, if you think about what the CHIPS Act does, right? The CHIPS Act